the mouth of a river travel all the way down to the bottom? Well, I'm here today to show you how.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Brought to you by Erosion Demolition, Inc. Give us the time and we'll wear away anything you got.
Rocks are pretty solid. But now, have you ever wondered how these rocks can turn into such small things such as sand and gravel? Because I know I sure have. Well, actually, using natural processes such as wind, water, and ice, these rocks are transported into the river, which from there on they use erosion and deposition to bring those rocks through the top of the river all the way to the bottom, and along the way, it's a pretty bumpy ride. And that's how they become eroded down into this really small rock, such as sand. Today, I am joined with the erosion and abrasion expert, Ava Fabiano. Hey guys! So Ava, do you want to inform our viewers more about this topic?
Well, abrasion occurs as sediments in a stream collide with rock in and along the stream. Pieces of rock are chipped away and rough edges in the rock and sediments themselves become rounded. The bedrock stream is also eroded by abrasion. Sediments flowing in the water can cut deeply into the bedrock over a long time. Stream abrasion can cause great changes in the shape of the stream or a river, as well as change the Earth's surface.
Alright. There are 4 different types of river erosion, such as attrition, hydraulic action, deposition, and transportation. Here, let me teach you more about those.
Attrition is a form of coastal or river erosion. When the bed load is eroded by itself and the bed, rocks are transported downstream along a riverbed, and the impact of the grains themselves and the grains of the bed cause them to be broken down into smaller fragments.
What? Oh, hi there. Hydraulic action is the erosion that takes place when the motion of water against the rock surface produces a mechanical weathering. Most generically, it's the ability of moving water, or like flowing waves in the river that takes it down, to dislodge and transport the rock. So which is their most prominent way of being able to travel down that river.
Deposition is when sediment, soil, or rocks are added to the land. It's the opposite of erosion. Deposition is a constructive process because it builds or creates landforms. Just as wind, water, and other forces can wear away sediments over time, sediments must also be deposited.
V-valleys and U-shaped valleys are formed when there's a river in between 2 highlands. These highlands then in the middle become like a V and a U shape due to the eroding of the rocks and the power of the river. So due to the river's force, these rocks are eroding with each other, eroding the floor of the river, causing them to go further down. Therefore, making these 2 highlands on each side and a river in the middle. That's why when you usually find a river, there's 2 highlands and there's a lowland in the middle, not usually very level. Now here's an experiment you can try at home. So, some supplies you're going to need to do this experiment are a ruler to level up the sand, a sift just in case you want to sift your sand. You need a bottle of water, whether it's a hose, a bottle, whatever, some spray to make sure your sand is wet, sand of course. You need a few things to prop up your sand, and then you need trays to hold your sand in. And remember, whenever you're doing something like this, make sure you have parental supervision just to make sure that your parents are fine with you, because this is going to get a little bit messy.
First, you're going to pour your sand into your sheet tray and spread it out so it's even with your ruler. Once it's even, you can grab your spray bottle and spray the top so that it's just wet enough that it won't slide once you tilt it. Then you're going to prop it up on your books or whatever you use into a separate container so that you don't make a mess of your table. And then you're just going to push everything to the side so you don't make a mess.
Now it's time to make our own rivers in the comfort of our own basement. So, you're going to take your water, and what you're going to do is you're going to pour it on top. Seeing this water is making the sand go down and go into their different own ways, causing them at the bottom to create U valleys and V valleys. So this process would be the same thing that would happen if there were a river. The river would take, using the current, take the rocks and bring them down and erode them down further away, causing them to go into U valleys, V valleys, decomposition, transportation, etc., etc.
A river delta is a landform created by deposition of sediments that is carried away by a river, as the flow leaves its mouth and enters slower moving or stagnant water. This occurs where a river enters an ocean, sea, lake, reservoir, or another river that cannot carry away the supplied sediments. And that's what happened with our sand. The water had moved and carried away the sand that was in its path.
So, the water transported the sand away, forming these deltas. Rivers begin high up and move at a fast pace, which we just showed you in our experiment. So that causes erosion in the river that will transport these rocks down the stream. Now, while doing that, there's a lot of erosion happening, which is eroding the bottom floor to make it become more of a V-shaped valley and a U-shaped valley, but more so V-shaped valley as the erosion is a lot more harsh. And as we go further and further down, the erosion becomes less and less, and there's different pockets. So sometimes the speed of the water might be going really fast. That means there'll be a lot more erosion there, and then sometimes it'll slow down due to there not being enough erosion there. All right, everyone. So that was today's lesson on weathering, erosion, rivers, deltas, V valleys, U valleys, etc., etc. So if there's one thing I want you guys to take out of this, is I want you guys to understand the concept of the river. And I want you guys, each and one of you, to go home and do our experiments. And if you can, go to a river. Go for a nice nature walk. It's really beautiful outside.
Your bag is open.
And you can further expand your knowledge on seeing how these rivers work and how the erosion works and how there's different rocks and how they all break down. So yeah, I would like to thank you guys for watching our lesson today. And this is Bill Guy, the Science Guy, out.
Nye, the science guy.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Brought to you by Erosion Demolition, Inc. Give us the time and we'll wear away anything you got.
Rolling. Action.
So, we forgot that we didn't have sand, so we're about to go for a 20-minute walk to go get it. So come with us, let's go. Okay, wait. Okay. Spilled the bag of sand. The bag ripped. We're stranded, and a car's watching us. And I have to hold it like this because I have no other way of bringing it back home.